So, hello everyone. A very warm welcome to this view class. It's a Discover class, so we will find out more about, or let's say the basic stuff about our view line. For me, I wanted to start to say something about our Davines education mission. We started with that last year to bring it in a wonderful line and a wonderful way to say how we want to support and inspire the people, the hairdressers. They want to know more, they want to grow, and they want to be sustainable. And this, for me, as Davines education is the way to educate and to work as sustainable as we can. And to put the words in the beginning of that webinar, take, if you want to, as much as notes as you can. And if you have any questions or there's something you wanted to know, we will have a question area in the end of that webinar. So I will say to you, please unmute your audio, and then we can speak about what we talked. But as long as the webinar's lasting, please mute yourself. That would be amazing. So to discover view, for me, just a few words. I'm Nadja. I'm coming from Germany, and I work for Davines. I mean, a long years, let's say about 20. And I know, I saw the way that Davines goes, and also all the lines that we are working with. And I mean, to have a mask in a salon and to have also a new color in a salon, it's an amazing tool to work. But somehow there are some points, especially for the clients that are coming new to the salon, their expectations are some different ones. They want to have a color that's not lasting that long. They want to start with color and try to be somebody else, or try to be as natural as they can. And also to have a hair quality that is near to natural. Sometimes it was a little bit hard to work with that. And now for this, if we have a look on our color map that we have at the moment, we see mask on the left side. This is the thing or the tool that we know this as much as we can about. I mean, it's our ammonia classic color system. This is a system where we can work multifunctional. That means, of course, I can do a toning with it, but at least I do have also a less amount of ammonia in it. And then we see our ammonia-free permanent color, which is a new color. And a new color is for that clients, they want to work with no ammonia in their salon. They don't want to have a smell. And they also want to work in a very, let's say, near to natural way. And added to this, we have our finest pigment system, which is our semi-permanent system, which is working near to natural with natural pigments, working with rose oil and some other really natural ingredients. And with the semi-permanent color, it's amazing to work with it, but sometimes the long elasticity of the color, it's not that good. So, of course, then we have a temporary color, which is our alchemic system. There are 6 shampoos and conditioner. We can work with pigments in it, and we can, have a better long elasticity of our color that we've done in the salon, or just care our natural hair with a slightly amount of pigments in it. 2018, we got a wonderful bleaching system, a premium bleaching system, which is called Century of Light. And maybe some of you also know that already. So there was some little spot missing in that years. And now we have a demi-permanent color system, which is called a really wonderful tone-on-tone color with the name You. And to describe the properties of a, or the thing, what is a tone-on-tone color, is for me, it's a demi-permanent system, which you can have, that you can use on all your color clients, which is a perfect system to use on a lightening and bleaching before. So that means as soon as you work with a wonderful balayage or freehand technique in a salon, or you have a wonderful blondes, so this is why it's also going hand in hand with the Century of Light, wonderful. You can have a system which is not touching any natural melanin, but working with the lightening. And it's also perfect to come to all no color clients. So that means as soon as your client entering your salon, and as I said before, there are some of them, they wanted to be somebody totally different today. You can offer them a totally different color today, just with a tone on tone color, to be a reddish one, to be a copper one, for example. And also for that male clients, they don't want to go into that way to have a color that is lasting a long time and also showing a regrow of. So there's now we have with that tone on tone color a possibility to work with male clients and give them a possibility also to have amazing shiny hair and some reflexes into it. And of course, also when you have clients, they want to go back maybe from a color, having a lot of white hair and wanted to come back to that naturality again. So this is the way you can use View with it to bring them back slightly to that natural way. Also for all of them, they having color for a long time and don't want it anymore. So a tone-on-tone system is for me an absolutely necessarily one into that salon. And let's have a look on that performance how we that we have with you, and also on the sustainability, because this is, I was talking about sustainability before, this is our main way we wanted to go with every system, and we see that in every new product that we get, from year to year, we have more sustainability in that system. And this is not only that we talk about packaging, it is about the product itself, and it's about the approach the product would go. And why we choose that Davines system? Because we wanted our way, how it's produced, or how was the aim that we wanted to have with that. We wanted to have a color with acidic pH. That means acidic, our hair, as we know, is also in between 4.5 and 5.5. So as soon as we work with a system which is more or less near to that, the more better the hair quality would be. So also we have in our view extremely high naturality. That means we, as I said, our aim is the sustainability. So that means the closer I'm to the naturality, the better it will be. We have a wonderful shine through that because, as I said, if we working in that acidic pH, of course the shine would be amazing. And it also, and this is because of the ingredients that I'm talking next about, it's the reinforcing effect. That means that when you work on a client with you, and let's say a lot of clients have a blonde system in their hair. A lot of clients now, they have long hair even after the period. And so they have, sometimes the hair is like that you say, I don't know, I need to refresh the color, I need to work with something on it, but I'm not about to using any alkaline color with it. And also maybe finest pigments is not lasting that long. I need to have something else. And now we have you, which is stepping into that, and the amazing effect is that reinforcing. So let's have a look about how it's made of. We have, when we take the bottle, we have like a liquid into it. It's a natural gel formulation base in the end. And that makes this whole system as a demi-permanent color line. And for me, the most important part on this, as I was reading the ingredients about, I was amazed. We do have 95 to 99% biodegradable ingredients. So that means the line, when we use it after 28 days, it's more than 70% not more into our environment. So that means it's gone more or less. And so a lot of the times when we're using color on clients, sometimes you think about, okay, we take it out of the tube, it's going with our activator, we put it into the bowl, and then we mix it and bring it on the head to the client. And we, of course, we think about ingredients, that's amazing, but what's happening with that ingredients as soon as you rinse it? And the aim, Davines, the way that Davines chooses was to say, what is about to, if we don't feel or see that ingredients not anymore into the environment, we don't want to have it, our impact should be as less as we can. So this is view is not just a demi-permanent color line. In that case, it's really a biodegradable product. It's a wonderful color product, but I don't need to think about after this anymore because it's gone. And also the next thing on that is that we have 88 to 93% of natural derived ingredients. That means Davines' way to choose a natural derived ingredients means that 100% of the molecule is really from a plant or a mineral, which is not petrochemical, or another natural source. So that means when we talk about the natural derived ingredients, it's really a derived one. And this is an honest and true way to communicate and very transparent. And then we follow that line and talking about the sustainable packaging. And we do have a recycled PET. You feel it on the bottle is really, plastic is really thin, and you can feel that you can, if I take one of these bottles into my hand, I can really press on it, and it's a thin plastic we're using because it's recycled one. And it's all of that is in carbon hydrate compensated packaging. So that means everything we're doing into that line is thinking about what about our environment, what about the planet, and so on, everything. And this is what it makes special. To produce a color line which is working, it's a hard way. For me, as soon as we're working with the natural ingredients and it's biodegradable, it's much more even harder. So, and then there's a point we have an ingredient into that view line, which makes that amazing special because we have natural polyglycerose. And this is a thing, it's well known into the food industry, but that ingredient is the very, very first one used in a hair care, in a color line, in a cosmetic. It's never known before. So what does it? It's first of all, it's renewable and it's biodegradable, and it's an emulsifier. An emulsifier is an ingredient which gives us the jelly formulation. So that means as soon as we mixing the contents, so that the view out of the little bottle and our 10-volt activator, I'm coming back to this point a little bit later. As soon as we're mixing it, we're getting a jelly formulation, and that jelly formulation comes from that polyglycerose. We're getting them from olive oil. It's just an extract, and the other perfect point on it, it's balancing our pH the whole time. So that means we do have a pH from 6.8 to 7.2 when we're taking view out of the bottle. As soon as we're mixing it with a 10-volt activator, we're talking about a 6.5 pH. So this is an acid pH, which is balanced the whole time. And the balance thing is, the balance comes from that polyglycerose that's saying, okay, I'm leaving this formulation the whole time in that acid pH. And now we have a gentle and non-irritating, non-sensitizing ingredient which leaves the hair amazingly shiny. And also we do have a reinforcing effect. That means the hair structure seems getting healthier by using. And this is amazing. This is new to see that in a demi-permanent color line. The whole market doesn't work like that. They're all focusing on a pigment. But here we have a whole package which is giving us a wonderful hair quality after using a color line. So, and here we see that we getting a really, we coming down with the breakage of the hair. So that means the more I'm using this color line, my structure of the hair is getting healthier, and I have taking down the risk of breakage. And you see it as soon as you have a hair quality which is not that good in the beginning, and you're using View and the proper conditioner also, and a proper shampoo, a proper caring line, everything will work on hair quality, and together it's amazing, amazing product line. When we have a look at the creative concept, because everything in Davines is going with a history behind, and also philosophy, which is wonderful because it's giving a point in our head and said, that's the line with the dances everywhere, or for finest pigments, that's the line with the natural pigments into it. And so everything has a little story. You know it from mask with the photographs on every package. So to talk about you and what does it mean is, you is always to tell about the work view. It means a little bit what is my impression today, or what is my thinking of what I want it to be. And to me, the different desires that clients having, they are coming today, it's sometimes really hard to find out what you want to be. And when we chose dancers and we chose music with it, and also on the launch period, we had for our clients little bands and dancers. They as we launched the line, everybody was dancing, and everywhere there was music. And so you give the impression to the client as soon as how Brian was talking about is, as soon as the music's starting, you can see sometimes the real somebody, yeah, and they showing something from themselves. They maybe don't do it on the other hand. So view means impression. View means also the thinking about something that you have today on a situation, and that's why we wanted to bring this line on it. And we see also it's an opinion, it's perspective, and a personal scenario also. And to show it also on the packaging, you see that every reflect, so that means an ash or a violet or a gold or a copper, every reflect into that line, or the direction the color does, has another packaging. So that means we chose pastel colors, which is wonderful and for the eye. I think it's wonderful for everybody. It says, oh, this is so nice, I wanted to have it. And also the little frames, every frame is different. And that says that also the person you use in it, it's different and it's special, and we use it individual. So we work with basic naturals. We do have ash reflexes, a violet one, golden, copper, and also reddish, really intense red. Then we see beige, and we see that special gray ones that is for specialties. That means we do have a silver, a quartz, a charcoal, and an amethyst, which is a kind of taking some little stones into our minerals in consideration. Everybody has an impression what does a mineral look like. So of course, to that line, there was also an iconic collection made. So here's the pictures of how, with what what went into the market and what we can do with it. So we can do, of course, with View, a creative color blending. That means it's perfectly to refresh lengths and ends, and to enhance any existing color on the hair. So that means if the client's coming maybe after the summertime into the salon, and the color and the lengths and ends maybe is a little bit tired, or a little bit too bright, or maybe a little bit not shiny enough, so I can bring that back to life. And here it's used, for example, a 666 and also 644. Then we have a standout blondes. This is for me personally, it's a wonderful picture of how blue is bringing out the shine of the hair and also the different reflexes. And this is if somebody is really don't want to have that much color on the hair. It's just to allow a blonde color, for example, to be a little bit more delicate, or to make it cooler, or to change a reflect, for instance. And on this picture is made with a 9.3 and a 9.4 in a mixture 1:2 with 10 volume. It's a wonderful color. And this is this picture shows how we're using View Amazing on blonde, because the area to work with blonde hair, it's huge in the last years, and it's also really kind of a delicate process to work on a blonde hair. Of course, we can do wonderful toning with mask or with a new color, but sometimes we know that a hair which is blonde, or which is worked with a balayage, or which is a global blonde, for example, sometimes the hair quality, especially in the lengths, is kind of a little bit stressed. So sometimes when you work with mask, then, or also with a new color, you had a feeling that maybe it's too stressy a bit for the hair, because still we have an alkaline color line that we used in that place. But now with View is no problem, because we saw before which ingredients we use and how does it work on the quality of the hair, especially in the lengths and ends. And on this picture is wonderfully made with a 9.22, with a 9.0 and a gloss. And I'm explaining a little bit later about which reflexes we do have. You still see it's so bright, the brightest blonde you can see, but it is even. It's you have no yellow in the hair. It's neutralized, and you still have that amazingly shiny naturality in the hair. And this is what View does. On this picture, you see when you have the color here is a bright copper, but you can also have a really hair which already treated with other chemical treatments, like for example, also again blondes or perm or relaxer, or it's colored and maybe not good colored with no quality color. Then you can bring the shine back to that hair and enhance also the quality. And this picture is, for example, made with a 6.44 and a 735. And the 644 is the main content on it with 3 parts of it. And here you have also, some of you maybe already used View before and know it, of course. The quality and the elasticity comes to another point of in the hair. It's just much more alive. And this is what it does. And also, this is another wonderful example, the back to natural. That means if you have clients, they wanted to change the color much more to natural. Let's say they are in maybe a dark brown from natural, and they are maybe a little bit lighter from a color before. You can bring them back easily to natural and give them the chance to have their natural color back. Also, as I said, you have the chance to transform them before from the colored hair to maybe a white hair, to give them the chance to do it slightly, step by step, and never look maybe not nice. This is used one part of the 445 and one part of the 414 on equal parts with 10 volt. And you can see it's shining amazing, and the hair is have a much elasticity. When we have a look at the assortment, that means we work at the moment with 49 shades, and we do have a 60 ml single bottle. Why we're using those 60 ml means that it's really important that as soon as you open the bottle, you have in mind that it's used for 3 months. That means in Germany, we put every time when we open a bottle, put a little cross on it, so that we know we opened it and have in mind that the 3 months the color is lasting. And the only bottle that is in a huge packaging is our gloss. It's 500 ml, and you can use it as long as you want to, because there is no pigment into it. We always use our 10 volume activator that we're also using for Century of Light and Mask, because this is the only activator belonging to View. This is much important. We do have an ammonia-free color line. We have no PPD. We do have no parabens, no silicone. This is amazing also when you think about the shine. It's made with no silicones at all, and no sulfates are also in View, and it's a liquid formulation with an acidic pH. So that means as delicate we could be, yeah. And we do have 2 possibilities to apply View. That means we have one, just a simple bowl application with a brush, but we have also a wonderful bottle, which it makes much more easier and really fast in application. So they can, as soon as you do a toning on a blonde, on a backwash, it's amazingly how fast you can be. And Rock was explaining last Sunday wonderfully how important it is really to be fast with that color application, because we do have, I'm coming to processing time a little bit later on. It's really important to think about that we do have a processing time from 20 minutes. So that means it's really, really necessarily that we apply at least 5 to 10 minutes, not longer, because otherwise you do have the pigment development is there, and you don't have the chance to bring the full color processing time in the hair. So please be really fast with it, because it's made for it also. And we work with 7 naturals, as we see here, and do have 38 reflexes and 1 gloss and 4 specialties. And these specialties I show you here. I have it the color chart, which is beautiful. You can see it a little bit later, but I do have it here. I mean, it's the most beautiful color chart we do have, because I can take everything out and show and so on. And everybody is attached by how wonderfully it's made with all the wonderful pastel colors and the different drawings. So that means if we talk about specialties, it's like a pastel color. We do have 2 darker ones. That means this is charcoal and the amethyst. And here we're thinking about simply about the stone characters. It means an amethyst, a really, really dark violet one. A charcoal is basically a grayish anthracite dark one. Also, if we compare it, it's much more pigmented than that one. And here we have a quartz. Everybody, as soon as we talk about quartz, everybody have an imagination about what is quartz, and a steel. Yeah, this is also when we talk about steel, we talk about the grayish bluish character of the color. And we see the differences. We have 2 darker ones and the brighter ones in it. And that's the 4 specialties, so the pastel shades. To talking about them, they have no base in it. That means as soon we talk about a long elasticity of a color and the pastelization of a blonde, thinking about that there's no base color in it, the long elasticity should be, or we should work with the longest processing time to have the long elasticity. And sometimes it's really nice to put a base color in it, like a 922, for example, or a 1023, to have that more stability of the pigments into the hair. How we use it. It's so simple, and it's so really fast in that way. As I talked before, it's a 1 mixing ratio for all color services. So you always use 1:1 with 10 vol, with every nuance, with every specialty, with every mixture you're choosing. So, and a 10 vol activator, as I said before, it's also used with Century of Light, and also used with mask, of course, and mask bleaching powder. For the service feature, it means what can we do with it? It means we do for the characteristic of the color, we have a short processing time. That means from 5 to 20 minutes. Of course, I can tone it a hair within 5 minutes, but then I have to know that I do not have the long elasticity. That means Rock explained it very well. We work, when we talk about view, we work in the outer layers of the hair and slightly in the cortex of the hair, but only the really outer part of it. So that means the pigments placing itself there. So, but they of course they need to have some time. When I just use it for 5 minutes, it's wonderful. The reflexes is also nice, but sometimes the long elasticity is not there because it's too short. On the other hand, we have to know that, of course, when I do have a maximum processing time from 20 minutes, I need to think about it that maybe if I want to have a wonderful long elasticity for a copper, for a, let's say, a pastel blonde like a 1023, I need to prolong that processing time really to the 20 minutes, to the full processing time, to having that long elasticity. That's much important. And as I said before, as soon as I'm starting to use the pastels, so that means the specialities, it's sometimes advisable to use a base color into it. Also, I'm coming to that to the part with the white hair a little bit later, because there's also a thing where the processing time is really important. And I do have a long elasticity from 6 to 8 weeks, or this is depending how on the fact how often does the client washes the hair. So that means I do have in 15 to 20 shampoos, depending, of course, the hair quality and what kind of shampoo uses the client. It's perfect to have a whole system, means the client is working at home also with Davines products, with the best Davines products is fitting their hair, of course. And then I have a long elasticity much more than I'm just using a shampoo, no conditioner, and washing the hair twice a day, for example. So this is what we're talking about the non-committing color service, really depending which client I'm working on. And the next fact is we have a no lifting system that's perfectly working on hair when we talk about especially a balayage. Yeah, a lot of the times we bringing some sun into the hair, really nice shades, some small reflexes, and then we need to bring that light that we put into the hair, and we need to neutralize some yellow, for instance. As soon as we work with a alkaline working color system, like we did a toning, for example, with mask, or we use a new color in that case, we do have sometimes the problems that we shift the natural melanin a little bit. For clients, they don't want to have that at all. Now we have a system that doesn't work on the natural melanin. So that means we have no lifting. We just work on neutralizing maybe the blondes, or bringing a little bit reflex on the natural hair. This is what View does, and this is the perfect place where it's put you into our color system. This is one of the main properties we have here. If we talk about a coverage, or more for me is more camouflage over white hair, then we talk about 30 to 50%, but it's not a cover as we know it, for example, from our alkaline systems, mask and the new color. It's really like a kind of a natural transfer. That means we see less white hair, but it's still there in somehow. And it's beautiful for all. For me, in that case, it's wonderful for male clients because it's still natural. Sometimes if when a color on a male client is not well done, it could look a little bit too reddish, it could look a little bit too gold, and you see always the regrow. As soon as you work with you, you don't have that kind of regrow, because there is no. It's really slightly washing out, and this is what the clients want to see. They have shine, they have not that much white hair, and it's not so visually seen, but it's still there, but much more natural and much more fresh. So also to bring somebody from a fixed color like an alkaline color system before back to their natural and back to their maybe white when they wanted to go, when they are ready to go to white hair, it's perfect to step in with you. And also here we have the possibility to work on that white hair, because we use a slightly amount of Maya in the color, and we work on that really outer surface of the cortex in that case. And enhances the natural hair color. Of course, it's wonderful tone on tone working on natural hair. So even if the client don't want to see a reflex or a change of a reflex on the natural hair, it still has a lot amazing shine in it, and that makes it even the quality much more better than a natural hair sometimes has it by itself. So it's to summarize everything, it's an amazing system. The tools that we have, I already showed you this before. We do have our application bottle. It's 240 ml, and it's wonderful made for, because of that little snooze in the top, it's wonderful made to really separate the hair and coming into it and placing the color where you want it to be, where you want it to be the color. And also it's really fast, because we talked about the application time shouldn't be longer than 5 to 10 minutes, so it's really fast working with it. And it's also a very nice clean. You just push the water in it a bit and it's clean. And you also can see the measuring line here. It's perfectly working with it. And then we have, of course, our color chart. I did show it before. And we had in spring a little bit enhancement of it. We got 4 new colors, and to work on a new place with that color chart, we always getting that changing material. That means I only need to take it out, take the little swatches out, and just place the new paper in it, and have place for my new shades. Then we have wonderful communication material for the salon. So that means, of course, our iconic collection for it. And your uniqueness moves the world. This is a sentence I really love, because it says everything about you and about every personality. That means all of us are unique in every sense. And so we can work on that uniqueness, of course, with the color. And here you see the last shades that we got new. We see the 662, and I heard from Brian that they had a wonderful shooting into the village. And I really love to have the pictures in the presentation to really transfer what is the color is about. And the 662 for me is not that warm red. It's always a mix in between, and always depending where you apply it on. But this picture says everything about it's really a cherry color. Then we have a 211. And the 211 is really, we know it from mask already, but in view we see, from my opinion, sometimes a little bit more bluish into it. And it's really for that dark blue, when I think about a really dark blue night, yeah. Then we have a 671. When we have, I come to a point about the talent greenhouse that I'm working in at the moment as a mentor. And we talked about which trend is the most sustainable trend that we have. And it is really about soft pastel, beigey colors. And for me, the 671 is that color. It says everything about to be neutral, to be, but nice for the eyes. Sometimes neutral is nothing, but with the 671, it gives away. It's pastel, it's natural, it's it looks expensive in a way. A 444 is a really dark, yeah, it would say copper shade, but in that way it comes to more bronzy one. Really nice for dark clients, of course, which want to have more depth, and also not just only more depth, but more brilliancy into the color. The problem with dark hair sometimes is that to get shine into that hair is sometimes a little bit hard. Even when it's colored a lot time, and the 444 brings it back to life, and the picture says everything about it. I would say we talk about timelessly and elegance, and of course naturality and natural materials. And here we see the new collection from Tom Cornell, which is working for us since the beginning of the year. And I was choosing this picture into the presentation, and was lucky Brian put it into it. Oh, sorry. Because we see here which view nuances already have been used. So when we have a look at the first picture, which is called the Parisian Grey, the Parisian Grey is a really wonderful classic shortcut, and it stands out because of the steely color we see. And it's also done with steel. There's some slightly dot of a 211 into it, and it's beautiful. Second one also works with a 211 and into it, and it says everything out. And when we compare the two pictures, you can see which character it takes. In the middle, we find a Meta Meta. This is also done with view. And here we do have, or see, Ashley Hodges created that color. It's beautifully seen as just two tones, but how beautiful work two tones near to each other on that wonderful long hair. And on the fourth picture, there's a little, yeah, a little difference to see that maybe you wouldn't think about it when you're choosing a color. That means you think about, wow, it's a brighter neck area, front area, and the top is dark. Normally we know it as the other way around, but here this is the idea to focus on it. And also the whole philosophy of the Eternals comes from Dieter Rams, which is a German constructor or developer who was working for Bosch. Is a German company also, and he works with the 10 principles of good design. So this is the idea of keep something simple but really effective, and take the view from somebody on it. So this is perfectly working hand in hand with it. And also, if we have a look on the fifth picture on it, it's really warm and also beigey, but then there are some cools into it, and it's a really natural working. And the portraits of people, so the Eternals, what it means is just to take photographs of people and not working on them. They just took the pictures as they were and took the real people. And this is what is perfectly fitting to Davines, for my opinion. I really love that Eternals collection. So on that part, I would have the time to taking questions, if there are any. And for that reason, you can unmute yourself now. You can also put your questions into the chat if you want it. There's my German team. Thank you very much. So if I have no questions at that point, thank you very much. Thank you for being here and listening to me. Then I thank you very much for your patience and for listening to me. And we are on the end from that webinar. Ah, crystal clear, wow. Cool. So then we are perfect in timing, I would say. It's been said 45 minutes, we did it. And I hope you enjoyed. And I would love to see you again. And thank you very much and have a wonderful rest of the day. And I would say goodbye.